Get ready to enter the Thrive Time Show.
We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, now we here.
We started from the bottom, now we're on the top. Teaching you the systems to get what we got. Colton Dixon's on the hooks, I break down the books. Z's bringing some wisdom and the good looks. As the father of five, that's why I'm alive. So if you see my wife and kids, please tell them hi. It's the C&Z up on your radio. And now 3, 2, 1, here we go.
We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get.
Hey, good to see you again.
Hola.
Today we're going to be discussing this idea in the umbrella of investing called design your own destiny. Deciding what you want to be when you grow up.
Cool.
One of my favorite things about working at Thrive and with you is your passion and your zeal for life. I don't think anybody would question that you love doing what you do. And that's motivates you to get up every morning.
Well, I like this week we put in this a kid set for the Thrive Kids, the program we have for your little kids. And it honestly is probably the most exciting thing in a while. Like it just pumps me up.
I love it.
But like the little earmarks that I look for, the little excitements. We had a guy who, is a Thrive subscriber, and I got a chance to talk with the guy, and he's like, I've been looking for something for like this my whole life, something where I just feel like I've got these big ideas and no one thinks I can do it. Like that's what I'm all about. But I can tell you, if I was doing a job that I wasn't passionate about, I wouldn't feel that way. So I think the big key is to find something that you're excited about and then try to find a way to get paid to do it.
So your passion and that zeal, kind of what keeps it going is talking with these guys, remembering what it is you're trying to do is improve and help people move from where they are to where they want to be. And hearing their stories, that's what gets you going, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
I love that. Okay, so today we're talking about this, this crazy idea that you can actually decide what you want your life to be like. You can actually decide your own destiny. Do you believe in this initially?
I do, and I will say this. If you're watching this right now and you say, my life is not going that well, I'm going to give you a story that's a little crazy, but it's true. 4th of July, about 3 years ago.
Okay.
Shooting off fireworks.
This is your favorite holiday, isn't
it is. And we're in Oklahoma. It's like there's a burn ban every day, and it's 106 degrees.
So you don't fire fireworks, correct? Because that's against. There's a burn ban.
I'll plead the fifth, but yes, I do shoot them off. So here we go. So what happens is that the fire. We're shooting off fireworks, and one guy he says, "Hey, let's shoot up these said things that fly up over the fence." And I'm like, "No, we shall not." He says, well, okay, so over the fence it goes. I look and I'm like, let's go. There's going to be a fire. It is hot. There's a burn. And I'm not kidding. I'm like, let's go. You talked to my brother-in-law about this. And I'm like, let's go. Come on. Move that. Yep. And he's just like, you want some chicken? And I'm like, just come on. And this fire, it's like small, and it hadn't started yet, but I knew it would.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it's like a 6-foot high flame. And I'm like, oh no, sweet mother. So I'm getting the hose. Just like this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just spraying it down.
Good.
I'm having a good time, just really trying to spray it down.
Right.
Then I sprint up, and I go over the fence, around the fence, put it out in the fire.
Good.
But like 5 people stood around. This is how people are with their life.
Okay, there it is. The tie-in. I was wondering what the tie-in was.
I got to keep you hanging.
Yeah, you did.
But people constantly though look at their life and watch it burn as though they have no control.
Sure.
Yeah, in your office there's going to be small fires, but don't let them burn.
Right.
I mean, you work here.
Yeah.
For those of you who watch Thrive and you're like, Thrive must be a perfect place. Yeah, it is, but you know what? We have people, personalities. Wow. You and I might clash. Camera guys, we might not all agree. Yeah. We might have the producers might not agree. But you know what? We all agree on the goal.
Right.
But sometimes you have to have a meeting.
Yep.
People are upset, so you say, all right, there's a fire in the office. Let's put it out.
Yeah.
But you don't sit there and just watch it happen.
Yeah, or turn away.
Yeah, but this is what a lot of business owners do, and you can't do it.
Yeah.
So you can't wait for success to happen.
Okay.
You have to decide to will it to happen.
So once you've decided that you can actually, determine the outcome and how your life will be.
Yeah.
There's kind of only 3 options. I feel like three choices, if you will. The first is to be secure.
Yeah, be secure.
So the first is you can choose to be secure.
Okay.
Or you can choose to be comfortable.
Yep.
And the third is choose to be rich.
Yep.
Those are kind of the three options that we're going to dive into and mine into in this episode.
Yep.
So let's start with the first one, choosing to be secure. Okay, now you've spent time with people, I'm sure, that have chosen to be secure. You grew up without much, in terms of financial security, I guess.
Yeah.
How are the mindsets different, and what does that secure mindset look like?
If you want to be secure,
Yeah.
then your best place to go to is going to be prison, because it's secure. Very few people can get in. Very few people can get out.
You're always going to have meals.
Always have meals. You probably get cable, C-SPAN, C-SPAN. I mean, take me there, right? I mean, you have these things, but a lot of people, that's what they want.
Yeah.
They want security.
Why do people choose security?
I think it's because there's just this great big fear of what if. I'm going to go ahead and play that out right now. I want you to think about this as I'm kind of sharing this with you. I want you to think about it. What if you started a business and it failed? What if? Well, for me, this is what I would do. I would fail, and I would say, well, I failed. That's what I'd do. I'd come home, probably cry a little bit, get upset about it. Probably call everyone I know, say, hey, my wife and I and our 5 kids want to move in with you. They'd probably say nope. Probably call everybody that I know, ask them for a job. They'd probably say nope. Probably call again, nope, nope, nope. Finally, some crazy person would say, yeah, you can move in with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll hire you. And then I would do it again.
I love it.
And so that's what you have to face. That's the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
So now what do you have if you don't try?
Yeah.
A kind of a prison existence. And I always call it the wage cage.
Right.
But what you have is you end up living inside this cage, where the one thing that's nice about the cage is that your owner is benevolent enough to come every once in a while, every few weeks. He'll come and he'll leave, he'll say, hey, incredible dog, do you want to go out on the dog run? Or hey, dog, do you want to go here or there? And maybe once a night the owner will take you on a run in the neighborhood. Or maybe every couple of weeks he'll take you out for something fun and get you like a dog bone. But as a general rule, your life is just in that cage.
Right.
And you're just watching it go by.
Right.
Or you can step out of the wage cage. But when you get out of this wage cage, you have 2 items here. You have over here large bags of money.
Right.
I talk about this in some of my books. You have large bags of money. That's cool because it's outside of the cage. However, also outside of the cage, there is like this he's like a super angry, sort of like a Viking character, And this Viking character he's trying to kill you. Right. That's what he's doing. And so when you step outside of this cage, you've got to understand that there is bags of money, but there's also Vikings with spears trying to kill you.
Yeah.
And you have to understand that entrepreneurship is saying, I reject security.
Right.
I want prosperity. People who've done this, we founded this country. I was not personally a part of this elite team, but people did that.
You wish you were.
They rejected. They said, King George, you can't tax us. We'll move here. Only we can tax us.
Right.
But they moved here, and they rejected the tyranny to start something that was ideal. When you think about the Wright brothers, they said, well, we reject the notion that you can't fly, and we're willing to risk it all to see if we can.
Yeah.
Walt Disney lost it all twice.
Yeah.
He's like, I reject the mediocrity. I want to start this amazing entertainment company.
Right.
It all starts with rejecting the notion of just existing for security.
It's funny because I have a friend that views finances and wealth almost as I don't want to be controlled by wealth. I don't want to be caged in and just controlled by more possessions and more desires. But it's really in this secure prison where your options are so limited. I mean, Robert Kiyosaki talks a little bit about this in his book, Rich Dad's Guide to Investing. He says, most people are too busy working and they do not have the time to learn how to invest. More often they say, I'm not interested in learning to invest. It's a subject that does not interest me. Yet they fail to see that by saying that, they become slaves to money, working for money, having money dictate the financial boundaries of their life, living frugally and within their means, instead of investing a little time, following a plan, and having money work for them.
If you look at this with security,
Yeah.
if you do not study investing in business, you go to work.
Yep.
You might go to T.D. Jakes talks about this. You go to work, you go to church,
Yeah.
you come home.
Right.
Maybe it's you go to work, you go to the gym, you come home. You go to work, you go to the church. And this is like the boundaries.
Yeah.
Because you're in the wage cage, you cannot leave the boundaries, this railing. You can't leave that. You're stuck on this road.
Right.
Now, what's amazing is that once you realize how to build up wealth by investing in something, a lot of times it takes 4 or 5 years to invest your time and energy and money into something that's big.
Right.
I mean, you talk about some of the most successful people. Walt Disney didn't work on Disney for a year. I mean, these people worked on it for years.
Yeah.
But what happens is now, instead of having this security where you're stuck inside this view, their territory expanded, their boundaries. Instead of saying, hey, for Thanksgiving, let's go here because all we can afford to do is go here.
Right.
Now they say, let's go here.
Yeah.
And so I can give you an example of how I don't obsess about money, but how it helps a lot. This year, as a family, we decided that we wanted to go to San Diego for Thanksgiving.
Right.
We have 5 kids.
Yeah.
Well, it's like a college semester of education to get everybody there.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money. Mm-hmm. Hotel, airfare, rental cars. Mm-hmm. But I didn't have to necessarily go, well,
we don't have that option.
We don't have that option.
Right.
So really, why you want to learn about business is so you have more options. That's all it is. Don't put business ahead. It's faith, family, finances. Put your faith first, put your finances second, put your family, it's faith, family, finances,
family
okay?
second.
Sorry, faith, family, finances.
There we go.
The idea though is you want to put your faith first.
Right.
Always want to put that first. Your family's next,
Right.
then you put those finances.
Good. So you believe that anybody can actually choose to become successful. And a big part of it, I believe you'd agree with Robert Kiyosaki in saying that you've got to invest time in learning how to grow your business, invest your money, use your money. That's part of it, right? Investing in learning how to become successful.
Caleb, the big thing is that you have to always sort your life in the priorities of faith, family, and finances. Mm-hmm. So the idea is you put your faith at the top.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily have to be religious faith, just a belief in the world being a better place, and your values and your core, your faith. What do you believe in? Then underneath that, you put your family. Your family, and then the third thing underneath that is your finances. So I'm here with you today to help provide rocket fuel for kind of our family's rocket, so to speak. And it costs money to fuel that. So you just have to make sure that you don't reject the pursuit of money and say, oh, I don't care about that. Because if you do, every decision you have will be limited and your options will always be small. You'll never get a chance to really do what you want to do. Money just gives you a time freedom.
Right. And
the freedom of without, kind of a life without borders.
Right.
To do what you want to do.
Get out of that wage cage.
Bam.
A big part of that is, just like this quote that Robert Kiyosaki said, is investing the time into learning how to become successful, right? And you believe that anybody who makes that choice to become successful and is willing to invest the time will achieve that.
Yeah, and there's a person I'd like to put up on the screen as I'm talking about him, but his name is Nate Waters.
Yeah.
And Nate Waters is a guy that I met because his mother dated a guy who was trying to rape his sister. And he tried to intervene, and this person ended up breaking his spine. Typically a mom who discovers that her boyfriend is trying to sexually violate her own daughter would stand up or would press charges, or he would think something. And she didn't do that. She left him to die, and he ended up being discovered by the police 2 days later, and he ended up living in a nursing home for the rest of his...
Nate.
This is Nate Waters, yeah. And Nate, though, decided, and he always said the phrase, I want to be better, I don't want to become bitter. And he always encouraged people to do that. You got to become better, not bitter. So if you're in an extreme, rough situation like Nate could have used that as an excuse.
Of course.
But he went on, and shortly after he passed, they decided to name a center in Tulsa for people with disabilities called the Nate Waters Center. and they just dedicated it there a couple weeks ago. It's really neat. But Nate was able to meet some of the biggest celebrities. He became a national speaker. He traveled all around the country as a speaker. He ended up going back to college, getting a job. I mean, he had all these successes that he had, and he didn't have the use of his legs, his arms, or anything below the neck, really. But he was able to become successful by using just his mind. If you look at somebody like Helen Keller and her life as an example, these are people with she was deaf, she was blind, and yet she was able to change the world and make a big impact. So I don't care what you're dealing with.
There's no excuses.
There's no excuses. You can do it. I know you can do it, and you just have to either you have to find a way to motivate yourself. And I wish I could come over through the camera and tell you, hey, directly, you can do this. But all I can say is on the other side of this camera, I know you can do it. And I know you can. So it starts with that belief that you can do it. And then it becomes with the choice. First is the belief. Now there's the choice that I'm going to commit the time needed. And I'm going to show you a diagram real quick, okay?
Go for it. Show me.
Because what happens is you start off and you first have to have the belief that you can do it. Some people would call this faith. The second thing is you have to make a choice to commit the time needed to study successful people. The third is nothing is more powerful than a changed mind, period. So what happens is once you make that choice, okay, and you begin to study success and study successful people, the fourth thing that will happen is as you begin to study success, you're going to change how you think. You're going to think differently because you have belief, you have chosen to take the time needed, you are studying successful people, you will now change the way you think. And when you change the way you think, finally you will change how you act, which ultimately creates the different results. And so if you ask me, can anybody do it? Yes, but you have to change your beliefs. That is tough to do. Because when you grow up poor, there are weird things you do. You believe rich people are out to get you. You believe you cannot become successful. You believe self-help books, what's the point of that? You start to say things like, you know what? Takes money to make money. You wouldn't know where I come from. It's hard for me. I'm not a good father because of the way I was raised. I don't have money because of the way I was raised. And then, but if you
change your belief, what do we do? What's an action step to change your belief right now?
You literally need to force yourself to encounter I call it immersion. But you need to force yourself to encounter that experience. So for me, I don't speak hardly any Spanish, okay? But in theory, if you go down there to Mexico, and this is kind of my version of Mexico, that probably looks more of like Delaware or something. But anyway, if you go down there, all right? But when you go down there, what happens is I went down there on a vacation, and I was down there for about a week, and I couldn't find any shoes. So I got my shoes wet. Well, I got my shoes wet, and so I had to go get some shoes. So I'm running around like, do you have any shoes? Do you have any shoes? Do you have any shoes? And I'm doing that weird offensive foreigner stuff where you're like, do you have any shoes? You know, because you're talking louder. Like it's like they have a hearing problem because you don't speak their native tongue. Do you have any shoes? You know, so I'm doing that. And I'm running around doing that. Well, finally the guy says, zapatos? And I'm like, zapatos, shoes? Yeah, shoes. Do you have any shoes? Zapatos. Well, we look at it. Well, I find out I have Dulce. I think it's Dulce. It's 12. Zapatos, you know? And then while I was at it, I want to get some pantalones, some pants.
I get those.
You know?
Pantalones.
And so I'm like running around being like, hola, me llamo Clay. You know, looking for donde está zapatos. And pretty soon by the end of the trip, I could communicate. And I'm like, this is boss. I'm going to the bathroom in Mexico. I know where it is. I'm asking questions. I'm getting lunch. I'm getting the chicken. I'm ordering the polo. I think it was Polo's chicken. I'm on fire. But I took Spanish 2 for 2 years. Spanish 1 and 2, and I never did get it at all. So what I'm saying is you have to immerse yourself. So if you want to become successful, start hanging around successful people. Step 1, do it. Log on to Thrive. Watch as your brain explodes.
And I know what you do. Is you're very aware of the stuff that's coming in your brain.
Oh, man.
You're aware of the stuff you're reading. You're aware of the posters that you have on your wall. that affects your belief in your faith, I bet.
If you come to the Thrive office, do we not have success stuff everywhere?
By the way, if you read his book, you rip out that page, you come to the office, he'll give you a free high five.
Free high five. We redeem that. It's available.
Come on.
It's something we offer.
Do the free high five thing.
But I surround myself with those positive imagery because I need to encourage myself. But you've got to immerse yourself in success, the intense study of success.
Yeah, and then you choose to invest the time. I know a lot of people waste time too. They're wasting their time working hard.
Yeah.
I guess maybe in their wage
How
cage.
much time? 15 minutes a day.
Yeah, but
That's all
it's
you
being
need.
aware of it. Again, Robert Kiyosaki in that same book says they work hard at trying to save, but they waste a lot of time.
Well, okay. Here's the deal. There's a belief system here.
Yeah.
That at the very beginning of this belief, and I don't want to get too deep right now, but there's a belief system, and you have either a poverty mindset,
Right.
or you have a prosperity mindset. This is A or B. Other people will call this a poverty mindset, or they'll say a success mindset, or a prosperity. But the one thing you have to look at is poverty. Whoa, that was kind of cool.
That's
It's red.
crazy, huh?
How poverty, people believe that there's scarcity.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. Do you know that in Iraq, this is 2014, in Iraq, the Russians just found a massive amount of oil. Have I told you about this yet?
You have not told me.
Oh, this is beautiful. The Russians have this belief that there is more oil to be found. So here we helped liberate Iraq, and we're like, nah, because the people who are in charge of looking, as a country, we've kind of chosen to, a lot of people have chosen to believe in peak oil, which is the belief that we've hit the maximum amount of oil we can ever produce, and moving forward, there'll be diminishing returns. The Russians are like, nope, we are going to find oil because there's more of it.
Right.
Do you know they just found one of the largest oil reservoirs ever? It's like something like 2 times larger than any previous discovery.
Wow.
And do you know that other people found a huge oil reserve in the Dakotas in the United States? So we're finding more oil every year than we've ever found before, but there's other people who are like, nah, we're running out. Well, I don't know about you, but until the year, right now it's what, 2014?
It is, that's correct.
I'm not really worried until like the year 26, 14. And I'll be dead then, so I don't care.
There you go.
My whole thing is like scarcity and prosperity. Scarcity is like, there might not be enough for everybody.
Yeah.
I don't want to be too successful because that would take from you. And people who are prosperous say, I want to be so successful so that you can see someone who's successful, and I want to give a little bit extra for you. And that's the mindset. So you've just got to train yourself to have the prosperity mindset.
I know growing up, I would consistently see people, living with this security mindset and investing a little extra that they had in cars. They got 2% better gas mileage, or something like, hey, these windows save our utility bill. Cuts down 5% here and there.
Yeah.
How is that mindset different than this mindset of becoming rich?
Well, people that are trying to save their way into security, they do weird things. They'll take like 4 hours to clip all the coupons to save $22 at the grocery store. When they could be at a job learning a new skill to make another $400. So for me, I will not run around looking for coupons.
Right.
Because I know that I could invest the same time. I could log on right now to a Thrive episode and learn everything I needed to know about marketing,
a pitch deck or something.
Pitch deck. Or I could be reading a great book, or I could be spending time with a mentor, or I could work an extra hour at my job. I don't want to run around trying to look for coupons. Rich Dad Poor Dad, he talks about that in his books, that very few wealthy people go to laundromats. But a lot of poor people do. And it's because the idea that rather than invest in a washer and dryer so that way I can do it for my house, they're like, well, I'd rather save money and just go somewhere else. But ultimately, time is the biggest asset that you have. So you don't want to waste your time, because time is your most important asset.
I know that was something that you learned kind of later in life. You've always told me is that you've heard the saying, time is your most valuable asset. But
I didn't believe it.
Now you really understand it, to where people come up, hey, do you have a quick minute? No, I do not have a minute. Please step away from my desk.
Well, it's funny is like with...
Because you have to, if you're going to be able to get those tests done.
And I'm not a big deal, but Sean, who we're going to interview here a little later, I on my phone, today there'll probably be 50 emails that I have to respond to, and there'll probably be 30 voicemails from this morning
You
when
look
I
like
get
you
out
have
here.
so much joy and excitement when you talk about that.
Yeah, well, it takes me to a special place.
Yeah.
But when I get into it, there's people who will call who are like, "Hey, dude, just wanted to get together for lunch." Well, I don't have a lot of time to waste. So I
Right.
want to know, state your purpose.
Right.
And then I love being generous with my time, but there's only
Yeah.
so much of my time.
Yeah.
And so what you have to realize that you're only going to live once.
Mm-hmm.
And the best example I can give you is if you're watching this and you would see a homeless person today, and if you would give them $1,000 out of your pocket, just $1,000, here you go, bam, someone you'd never met.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it wasn't a homeless person. Maybe it's a person who's just down on their luck who asked you for money.
Yeah.
If you'd give $1,000, just poof, then you would be a very rare person. But a lot of us give thousands. I mean, let's say you worked at a job where you made $10 an hour. A lot of people will spend 100 hours a year, just their time wasted on people, places, and things that are not helping them get where they want to go.
Right.
So you just don't want to throw away your time, and you don't want to throw away your money.
So why, in your mind, do you think most people are investing their time and money into money-saving options instead of, money-creating investments?
It comes with the fundamental belief at the very beginning of this that people in the top left up there, they have a belief in scarcity. They believe that soon the money supply will run out. Soon we'll run out of natural resources. Soon, things might get worse. I would hate to try something big.
Right.
Because what if I lost my job over here?
Right.
Gosh, that's tough. When family starts calling you and saying, "How come you're not getting a job that pays you what you're worth?" I'll never forget when people would tell me, "If you would just have got your degree, you could be like a CEO. With your personality, you could do." I'm like, I don't want to be a CEO of a
Somebody
company
else's
that's not that I'm passionate about.
Right.
I have a distinct plan I want to do. And so you just have to make sure that you have that belief,
Right.
that fundamental belief system to begin with.
That's big. All right, well, let's move on to the second option here. This is, not the safe option. This is the comfortable option, okay?
Yeah.
Choosing to be comfortable here. Talk to me about this. How is this different than the security option?
Well, the security is the guy who walks the marathon.
Okay.
He's like, well,
You just want to pull a hamstring.
I don't want to pull a hammy. I'm going to walk this marathon. And he's just like walking, pow, pow. He's got some music going on. He's
great.
He got he's got the headphones. He's got like some like it's like a.
What is he listening to?
Well, he's listening to
Michael Bolton?
No, he would not listen to Michael Bolton if you're a walker on that, because actually he was listening to Michael Bolton's holiday album. I was confused.
Oh, okay.
His holiday album. So he's just like listening
It's
to.
summertime.
It's summertime, but he's
Yeah.
walking the marathon. He's walking Michael Bolton Christmas.
Good.
Well, that's what security is.
Okay.
Now, the guy who's going for comfort,
Yeah.
he's going to jog.
Okay.
He's going to be like, well, I want to finish in the top, 400.
Right.
There's 1,000 people. I'm
And
in
he's
that top.
pumped about being in the top 400.
Yeah, he's like, I didn't really fully push myself. I would hate to have. I get my skin gets flush when I run fast,
Sure, yeah.
so I just want to maintain. I get hot. I get overheated. I just would rather just kind of be in the top. I wanted to jog my way. That guy. But he's fast. He could, in his mind, he knows he could probably have been near the top.
Yeah.
So he even says things like, "Well, I could have.
Oh.
I could have been in the top 100, but I have chosen not to. I just, we didn't want to show people up. I didn't want to risk it. I didn't want to pull my hammy. I got a bad knee.
Nobody wants that.
But that's so comfort is where you turn on the rocket boosters just enough to get ahead of most, but then you stop. And it's dangerous. You know why? Because comfort kills ambition.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Comfort
Kills ambition. Comfort kills. Let me give you an example. You know why? What this is called right here, this is called the workout guru who never works out again after getting married. This is called the guy who, we've all know the guy. He's just jacked. And he works out every day and he's just, I am jacked. I just want to get huge, And he's just yoked and he's just pumped and he's just reading the fitness magazines. And then he gets married and he's like, well, my wife is hot and have her, so I'm going to quit. The fish is already in the boat. I'm not going to need to bait the hook anymore, right? Right? That kind of guy. And so what happens is the comfort kills. He starts kind of sleeping on the boat a little more, kind of laying back. Wakes up with a sunburn and fat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not where you want to go.
You don't want that.
you want to make sure that you just don't lose your ambition when you get comfortable.
Again, if we're looking here at the Rich Dad's Guide to Investing,
Yep.
Robert Kiyosaki, he says, nothing is more tragic than to see people who have sold themselves short on what is possible for their lives. They try to live frugally, skimping and saving, and they think that this is being financially smart. In reality, it is financially limiting, and it shows up in their faces and their attitudes in life the older they get. Most people spend their lives mentally caged in financial ignorance. He's saying this is the reason why many old people are grumpy.
I'll tell you this. I have a guy I know who's extremely, just ridiculously wealthy, and he's older in life,
Sure.
very wealthy. And he right now, at this advanced age, he is trying to completely overhaul an industry. And I'm like, really?
I love it.
And he's pumped.
Yeah.
See, every time you talk to the guy, he's like, he's got these plans. He believes the future of this industry is going to
Yeah.
be here and there. And you're like, what time are you waking up, bro?
Yeah.
You know, you're getting text messages from the guy at bizarre times. You're going, this guy's been up since 3 or 4. And you
Yeah.
start to realize that this person is not content with achieving
Yeah.
just mediocrity or comfort. They want to do something big.
And I don't know who you're referring to.
Sure.
But as one of the younger guys here on the Thrive team, I love the opportunity to be around some of these older gentlemen. I'm not saying they're old, but the older gentlemen, wise gentlemen, right?
Wiser gentlemen.
Wiser gentlemen. Clifton Talbert,
Yeah.
extremely wise.
Yeah.
Lee Cockrell. Those two men are so full of life and passion and energy and joy.
Yeah, and you
It's
have
contagious.
Well, and what's crazy is you look at it and you see some old people who are like, I don't use phones.
Yeah.
I don't like smartphones. Why would I need a smartphone? I'm already smart.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, Grandpa, you want to look up the phone number for Outback, Steakhouse on your phone? Can we look it up and we'll call them? On your phone? I'll get a yellow page. And they're just mad. And you're
Right.
like, whoa, calm down.
Right.
You get the old guy who's got a house that's paid for in a neighborhood that's getting bad, but he's got the perfectly manicured lawn.
Yeah.
And he's just, get off my lawn. And you wonder, how did that happen?
Yeah.
What happened is they quit dreaming. They quit chasing the stars. They quit going for something big. We've got to we've got to pursue our passions.
Again, Robert Kiyosaki describes these people as pacing lions. He says, they begin to look like wild lions trapped in small cages at a zoo. They just pace back and forth, wondering what happened to the life they once knew. These are these people. Can you think of people that you've encountered in your life who had plenty of skill? They could have been something.
It's usually the guy. How I've seen it the most often recently.
Yeah.
Is I've seen a lot of guys who've built a pretty decent amount of wealth, where they're like in their 50s and they have an opportunity to cash out of a business, and they do it and they get depressed. And if you get a chance to Google this, if you're watching this is some crazy stuff. There's all sorts of data out there that shows people, most executives, after retiring, die very quickly.
Ooh.
Because it's like they're so used
what they
to
lived
going,
for,
and it just kills their. And really, not having like ambition is bad for you. Like laughter. I mean, there's all medical research that shows laughing is good for you. I'm just saying that laughing and being engaged in the pursuit of your passion is awesome.
Yeah.
So if you're not engaged in your passion, you're going to be up for health problems. You're going to have lack of energy. But when you're engaged in the pursuit, last night I was shooting off fireworks.
Oh, it was a blast.
And I was shooting them off, and I
Flying
was just
pigs,
like,
just
flying
right
pigs.
up in the sky.
We got some Roman candles. We got
was
the
a blast.
tanks. These tanks, they shoot.
fought. They fought each other.
The tanks fought each other.
Yeah.
Got the motorcycle. You light it up,
Yeah.
and but it had like one broken wheel,
Yeah,
and it's
it
kind of
did.
like.
It did.
But the whole thing is, it's awesome. I'm
Yeah.
excited. I'm like 12 because
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
That's how we need to be every day.
Yeah.
We need to be engaged. We need to remember what it was like to live life like you're singing your favorite song. It's
Yeah.
got to be awesome.
So let me ask you this. Look into this camera here. What would you say to one of these caged lions that's watching, right? They're walking back and forth right now. They're in that current situation where they're just pacing, okay? What do you say to that person?
Well, to quote Napoleon Hill, the time will never be just right. You have to live now. And I would say this, Napoleon Hill talks about, he says the time will never be just right. You must act now. You must live now. It's huge, and I love that quote. But there's a quote that comes to my mind about how life is not a dress rehearsal. It's just not. You only get to do it one time. Get out there and sing your song. Just go for it. You can absolutely make your mark. I'm telling you, you can make a mark and leave a legacy.
You've been quoting a lot of people. To quote Mike Posner, I'd like to say, bow chicka wow wow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I get what that means.
Good. Point number 3. This is the choice to be rich. Okay, the choice to be rich. What would you say to encourage somebody who's watching this, okay, who might feel, maybe even a little bit bad, maybe a little guilty for having a big goal, big dreams, this belief that they can become successful and become rich? What do you say to that person?
Well, I would say if you look here at this list, it starts with the belief again.
Okay.
If you believe in prosperity, if you believe in success, and you believe that you have an opportunity to do something big, and you believe that everybody has an opportunity to do something big, if that's your core belief, then you won't let people make you feel bad for earning money.
Because it's other people that influence that feeling.
And let's get real for a second. I bought a Hummer. Why? Because I like it. It's big, it's massive, it's wide.
Yeah, but what about the environment, Clay?
Well, and the thing is that I don't necessarily share the beliefs of a lot of people.
Right.
And I don't care what the majority of people think. In fact, if the majority of people think something as a general rule, I don't agree. So when I bought it, I remember a lady came up to me and she's like, I literally was having breakfast with my kids, and she's standing behind me and she's like, oh my gosh, who would drive that car? That thing is so irresponsible. Look how big it is. What? She's going on and on. Well, like, I've gotten to a point now where I not only care, but it brings me joy. Like, it doesn't make, I don't care, and it brings me joy to know that my car is so awesome that it drives her crazy. Like, it doesn't worry me. But I used to worry. I used to run around with the approval, seeking that approval of everybody. I remember when we decided to have 5 kids, people would call and, are you sure you want to have 5 kids? I remember when people talked about, when my wife and I, with our schedule, our work schedule, we had family members over, and we're like, your husband works every day at this time?
Yeah.
I remember when I started wearing my blue suits and red ties, people were like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, I just don't care.
Yeah.
So what you have to do is, if you're going to decide to be rich, you have to understand that's not normal. You're a freak. You're a freak of the week.
Right.
I mean that because we only meet like 100 people in a week, right? And only like 3% of people are, wealthy.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about like you're in that rare air, man. You have to be eccentric.
Yeah.
You have to be different. And so people are going to harass you, mock you, ridicule you. They won't understand your ways and means and your rules. But ultimately, if you treat people the way you want to be treated and you stay true to your principles, ultimately you'll win in the end there.
Regardless of what you choose, security, comfort, or prosperity, the choice is yours. That's what we're saying. That's what this episode's about. There's no excuses about, I grew up like this, I had this terrible thing happen to me, this is kind of as far as I can go. That's ridiculous, right?
And to not choose is also to lose. If you don't become rich by default. Like if you decide not to, if you're like, I just can't decide if I want to be secure or comfortable, so I'm just going to kind of, or rich, I just don't know. You're going to end up just being secure.
Right.
One step above prison.
Right.
Now, if you're like, I don't know what I want to do, you're not going to just by default become wealthy. Being wealthy requires to go upstream or reverse of the current. You have to do things that are different.
Right.
And in order to do that, you're going to have to save. You're going to have to be intentional about how you live. You're going to have to surround yourself with the right kind of people. And again, if you do want to become wealthy, you have to change your core belief. You have to decide right now, I want to become successful. You have to choose to invest the time to study successful people. You have to then just study and study and study success to the point where it changes how you think. Then you actually have to act on it.
Right.
You have to be crazy enough to actually go out and invest and start a business.
Right.
And then if you do it consistently, you will see those results. That's how it works.
Boom. I love it.
Yeah.
Clay, I mean this when I say thank you for taking the time. I know that you care so much about these viewers, about us, and your goal is to mentor millions. So thank you for sharing the wealth of knowledge that you have with us.
Yeah.
I love it.
Hey, I appreciate you. And you're not on the show just because you're a beautiful man.
Oh, wow.
But if we did put people on the show just based on their beauty, you would be on the show.
Oh, thank you. That was very kind.
All right, JT, so hypothetically, in your mind, what is the purpose of having a business?
To get you to your goals. So it's a vehicle to get you to your destination.
And would you need profits to get there? I mean, is when you have a business that's successful, in your mind, in your expert opinion, would you need profits to get you to your goals?
Yeah, because if you have a $15 million business, but you have $15 million of expenses, it's kind of pointless.
Holy crap!
All right, so the question I would have here for you, if you could take like, I don't know, 10 minutes or less and see if you could save $3,000 a year by reducing your credit card fees, would you do it?
Yes, absolutely.
Holy crap!
Why would somebody out there who's listening right now who has a sane mind, why would they not go to thrivetimeshow.com/credit-card, thrivetimeshow.com/credit-card to schedule a 10-minute consultation to see if they can reduce their credit card fees by at least $3,000 a year?
Why would they not do it?
Yeah, why would they not do it?
Maybe because they didn't understand how you said the website.
This tree is a symbol of the spirit of the Griswold family Christmas.
No, that's clear. Okay, so that could be true. So I would encourage everybody to check out thrivetimeshow.com/credit-card, thrivetimeshow.com/credit-card. What would be another reason why someone would not be willing to take 10 minutes to compare rates to see if they could save $3,000 or more on credit card fees?
Maybe they think it is a waste of time and that it won't. It's not possible.
If there's somebody out there that's making more than $3,000 every 10 minutes and they're like, nah, that's not worth my time.
We getting there, right money. We getting there, right money.
There's probably someone out there
Okay.
that would think that.
Well, I'll just tell you, folks, if you're out there today and you're making less than $3,000 per 10 minutes, I would highly recommend that you go to thrivetimeshow.com/credit-card because you can compare rates, you can save money. And, you know, the big goal, in my opinion, of building a business is to create time freedom and financial freedom. And in order to do that, you have to maximize your profits.
Holy crap!
Now, one way to maximize your profits is to increase your revenue. Another way to do it is to decrease your expenses.
It's a profit deal. It takes the pressure off.
JT, is there any other reason why somebody would not be willing to take 10 minutes to compare rates to see if they could save a total of $3,000 a year on average?
I am at a loss and I cannot think of any other.
Shampoo is better. I go on first and clean the hair. Conditioner is better. I leave the hair silky and smooth. Oh, really, fool? Really? Stop looking at me, Swan.
Well, let me tell you a good story here real quick here. I actually, years ago, compared rates with this company here. It's called IPS. It's Integrated Payment Services. And I scheduled a consultation. I don't know that I was skeptical. I just thought, whatever, I'll take 10 minutes. I'll compare rates.
I can't tell. You can tell me I'm a doctor. No, I mean, I'm just not sure. Or can't you take a guess? Well, not for another 2 hours. You can't take a guess for another 2 hours?
And in my case, in my particular case, I save over $20,000 a year.
Holy crap!
Wow.
Which is, like groceries when my wife goes to the organic stores.
Find everything you need today?
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
Oh, God. No.
Everything okay, ma'am?
It's just that you've only scanned a few items and it's already $60. I'm so scared.
Okay, I'm a trained professional, ma'am. I've scanned a lot of groceries. I need you to stay with me.
It's just that my in-laws are in town and they want a charcuterie board.
This isn't gonna be easy, so I need you to be brave, all right? What's your name?
Patricia.
Trisha, all right. I need you to take a deep breath. We're about to do the cheese.
You know, that's the difference between eating
grocery.
organic and not organic. So because my wife eats organic, I had to take the 10 minutes needed to compare rates to save the $20,000 a year on credit card fees just for one of my companies.
One question. What's the brand name of the clock?
The brand name of the clock, Rod. Do we have it? Name of the clock. It's an elegant from Ridgeway. It's from Ridgeway.
Let's buy
Buy the clock.
and sell the fireplace.
So I encourage everybody out there, go to thrivetimeshow.com/credit-card. You schedule a free consultation, request information. A member of our team will call you. They'll schedule a free consultation. It should take you 10 minutes or less. And they're going to compare rates and see if they can't save you more than $3,000 a year off of your credit card processing.
You were hoping what?
I wouldn't owe you money at the end of the day.
No, you don't owe us money.
Because at the end of the day, the goal of a business is to create time freedom and financial freedom. In order to do that, you need to create additional profits.
The number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year. We are Jared and Jennifer Johnson. We own Platinum Pest and Lawn and are located in Owasso, Oklahoma. And we have been working with Thrive for business coaching for almost a year now.
Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to share some wins with you guys that we've had by working with Thrive. First of all, we're on the top page of Google now. Okay. I just want to let you know what type of accomplishment this is. Our competition, Orkin, Terminex, they're both $1.3 billion companies. They both have 2,000 to 3,000 pages of content attached to their website. So to basically go from virtually non-existent on Google to up on the top page is really saying something. But that's come by being diligent to the systems that Thrive has, by being consistent and diligent on doing podcasts and staying on top of those podcasts to really help with getting up on with their listing and ranking there with Google.
And also we've been trying to get Google reviews, asking our customers for reviews. And now we're the highest rated and most reviewed pest and lawn company in the Tulsa area. And that's really helped with our conversion rate. And the number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year.
Wait, say that again. How much are we up?
411%.
Okay, so 411% we're up with our new customers. Amazing.
Right. So not only do we have more customers calling in, we're able to close those deals at a much higher rate than we were before. Right now, our closing rate is about 85%, and that's largely due to, first of all, like our Google reviews that we've gotten people really see that our customers are happy, but also we have a script that we follow. And so when customers call in, they get all the information that they need. That script has been refined time and time again. It wasn't a one and done deal. It was a system that we followed with Thrive in the refining process, and that has obviously the 411% shows that system works.
Yeah. So here's a big one for you. So last week alone, our booking percentage was 91%. We actually booked more deals, more new customers last year than we did the first 5 months. Or I'm sorry, we booked more deals last week than we did the first 5 months of last year from before we worked with Thrive. So again, we booked more deals last week than the first 5 months of last year. And it's incredible. But the reason why we have that success is by implementing the systems that Thrive has taught us and helped us out with. So.
Some of those systems that we've implemented are group interviews. That way we've really been able to come up with a really great team. We've created and implemented checklists. That way everything gets done and it gets done right. It creates accountability. We're able to make sure that everything gets done properly, both out in the field and also in our office. And also doing the podcast, like Jared had mentioned, that has really, really contributed to our success. But that, like I said, the diligence and consistency in doing those and that system has really, really been a big blessing in our lives. And also, it's really shown that we've gotten the success from following those systems.
Yeah. So before working with Thrive, we were basically stuck. Really no new growth with our business. And we were in a rut and we didn't know.
The last 3 years, our customer base had pretty much stayed the same. We weren't shrinking, but we weren't really growing either.
Yeah, and so we didn't really know where to go, what to do, how to get out of this rut that we're in. But Thrive helped us with that. They implemented those systems. They taught us those systems. They taught us the knowledge that we needed in order to succeed. Now it's been a grind. Absolutely, it's been a grind this last year. But we're getting those fruits from that hard work and the diligent effort that we're able to put into it. So again, we were in a rut. Thrive helped us get out of that rut. And if you're thinking about working with Thrive, quit thinking about it and just do it. Do the action, and you'll get the results. It will take hard work and discipline, but that's what it's going to take in order to really succeed. So we just want to give a big shout out to Thrive, a big thank you out there to Thrive. We wouldn't be where we're at now without their help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Moore. I'm a pediatric dentist. Through our new digital marketing plan, we have seen a marked increase in the number of new patients that we're seeing every month, year over year. 1 month, for example, we went from 110 new patients the previous year to over 180 new patients in the same month. And overall, our average is running about 40 to 42% increase month over month, year over year. The group of people required to implement our new digital marketing plan is immense, starting with a business coach, videographers, photographers, web designers. Back when I graduated dental school in 1985, nobody advertised. The only marketing that was ethically allowed in everybody's eyes was mouth-to-mouth marketing. By choosing to use the services, you're choosing to use a proven turnkey marketing and coaching system that will grow your practice and get you the results that you're looking for. I went to the University of Oklahoma College of Dentistry, graduated in 1983, and then I did my pediatric dental residency at Baylor College of Dentistry from 1983 to 1985.
Hello, my name is Charles Kolaw with Kolaw Fitness. Today I want to tell you a little bit about Clay Clark and how I know Clay Clark. Clay Clark has been my business coach since 2017. He's helped us grow from 2 locations to now 6 locations. We're planning to do 7 locations in 7 years and then franchise. And Clay has done a great job of helping us navigate anything that has to do with like running the business, building the systems, the checklists, the workflows, the audits, how to navigate lease agreements, how to buy property, how to work with brokers and builders. This guy is just amazing. He's this kind of guy has worked in every single industry. He's written books with like Lee Crockrell, head of Disney, with the 40,000 cast members. He's friends with like Mike Lindell. He does Reawaken America tours where he does these tours all across the country where 10,000 or more people show up to some of these tours. On the day-to-day, he does anywhere from about 160 companies. He's at the top. He has a team of business coaches, videographers, and graphic designers and web developers, and they run 160 companies every single week. So think of this guy with a team of business coaches running 160 companies. So in the weekly, he's running 160 companies. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's doing Reawaken America tours. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's also doing business conferences where 200 people show up, and he teaches people a 13-step proven system that he's done and worked with billionaires, helping them grow their companies. So I've seen guys from startups go from startup to being multimillionaires, teaching people how to get time freedom and financial freedom through the system. Critical thinking, document creation, putting it into organizing everything in their head to building into a franchisable, scalable business. Like one of his businesses has like 500 franchises. That's just one of the companies or brands that he works with. So amazing guy, Elon Musk kind of like smart guy. He kind of comes off sometimes as socially awkward, but he's so brilliant and he's taught me so much. When I say that, like Clay is like, he doesn't care what people think when you're talking to him. He cares about where you're going in your life and where he can get you to go. And that's what I like most about him. He's like a good coach. A coach isn't just making you feel good all the time. A coach is actually helping you get to the best you. And Clay has been an amazing business coach. Through the course of that, we became friends. I was really most impressed with him is when I was shadowing him one time. We went into a business deal and listened to it. I got to shadow and listen to it. And when we walked out, I knew that he could make millions on the deal. And they were super excited about working with him. And he told me, he's like, I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to turn it down because he knew it was going to harm the common good of people in the long run. And the guy's integrity just really wowed me. It brought tears to my eyes to see that this guy, his highest desire was to do what's right. And anyways, just an amazing man. So anyways, impacted me a lot. He's helped navigate anytime I've got nervous or worried about how to run the company or, navigating competition and an economy that's like, I remember we got closed down for 3 months. He helped us navigate on how to stay open, how to get back open, how to just survive through all the COVID shutdowns, lockdowns.
I'm Rachel with Tip Top Canine, and we just want to give a huge thank you to Clay and Vanessa Clark.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan with Tip Top Canine. Just want to say a big thank you to Thrive 15. Thank you to Make Your Life Epic. We love you guys, we appreciate you, and really just appreciate how far you've taken us.
This is our old house, right? This is where we used to live a few years ago. This is our old neighborhood. See, it's nice, right?
So this is my old van and our old school marketing, and this is our old team. And by team, I mean it's me and another guy.
This is our new house.
with our new neighborhood. This is our new van with our new marketing, and this is our new team. We went from 4 to 14, and I took this beautiful photo. We worked with several different business coaches in the past, and they were all about helping Ryan sell better and just teaching sales, which is awesome, but Ryan is a really great salesman. So we didn't need that. We needed somebody to help us get everything that was in his head out into systems, into manuals and scripts, and actually build a team. So now that we have systems in place, we've gone from 1 to 10 locations in only a year.
In October 2016, we grossed 13 grand for the whole month. Right now it's 2018, the month of October. It's only the 22nd. We've already grossed a little over 50 grand for the whole month, and we still have time to go. We're just thankful for you, thankful for Thrive and your mentorship, and we're really thankful that you guys have helped us to grow a business that we run now instead of the business running us. Just thank you times 1,000.
The Thrive Time Show 2-day interactive business workshops are the highest and most reviewed business workshops on the planet.
You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you raise capital? How do you get a small business loan? We teach you everything you need to know here during a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. It's all here for you. You work every day in your business, but for 2 days you can escape and work on your business and build these proven systems so now you can have a successful company that will produce both the time freedom and the financial freedom that you deserve. You're going to leave energized, motivated, but you're also going to leave empowered. The reason why I've built these workshops is because as an entrepreneur, I always wish that I had this. And because there wasn't anything like this, I would go to these motivational seminars, no money down, real estate, Ponzi scheme, get motivated seminars, and they would never teach me anything. It was like you went there and you paid for the big chocolate Easter bunny, but inside of it, it was a hollow nothingness. And I wanted the knowledge, and they're like, oh, but we'll teach you the knowledge after our next workshop. And the great thing is we have nothing to upsell. At every workshop, we teach you what you need to know. There's no one in the back of the room trying to sell you some next big get-rich-quick, walk-on-hot coals product. It's literally, we teach you the brass tacks, the specific stuff that you need to know to learn how to start and grow a business. And I encourage you to not believe what I'm saying, and I want you to Google the Z66 auto auction. I want you to Google elephant in the room. Look at Robert Zellner and Associates. Look them up and say, are they successful because they're geniuses, or are they successful because they have a proven system? When you do that research, you will discover that the same systems that we use in our own business can be used in your business. Come to Tulsa, book a ticket, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best business workshop ever, and we'll even give you your money back if you don't love it. We've built this facility for you, and we're excited to see you.
If we go back 8 years ago, think about the number of clients you had back then versus the number of clients you have now. As a percentage, what has been the growth over the past 8 years, do you think? We got to inspire somebody out there who just doesn't have the time to listen to their calls.
Okay, so Clay, it's like I would go up and down from about $10,000 a month up to about $40,000, but it was up and down roller coaster. And so now we've got it to where we're in excess of 100 clients.
That's awesome.
And so I would have anywhere from 5 clients to 20 clients on my own with networking, but I had no control over it. I didn't, without the systems, you're going to be victimized by your own business.
For somebody out there who struggles with math, if you, let's say that your average number of clients was 30 and you go to 100, as a percentage, what is that?
I have doubled every year since working with you. So I've doubled in clients, I've doubled in revenue every year. It's 100% growth every year I've worked with. Now, so I'm looking, we've been good friends 7-8 years, and I've got doubled 5 times.
Which is just incredible. I mean, the first time you do it, that's one thing, but when you do it repeatedly,
yeah,
I mean, that's unbelievable.
We're working our Blessed Assurance off this year to double. We're planning on doubling again. We're incorporating new some new things in there to really help us do it, but we are going to double again this year. I started coaching, but it would go up and down, Clay. That's when I came to you, as I was going up and down, and I wanted to go up and up instead of up and down. And so that's when it needed a system. So creating a system is you have nailed down specific steps that you're going to take no matter how you feel, no matter the results. You lean into them and you do them regardless of what's happening. You lean into them and it will give you X number of leads. You follow up with those leads, turns into sales. Well, I tell you, it's if you don't have a script and you don't have a system, then every day is a whole new creation. You're creating a lot of energy just to figure out what are you going to do.
Right.
And the best executives, Peter Drucker is a father of modern management. He said the most effective executives make one decision a year. What you do is you make a decision, what is your system, and then you work like the Dickens to make sure you follow that system. And so that's really what it's all about. So with a script here, we have a brand new gal that just came in working for us. She nailed down the script, and she's been nailing down appointments. Usually we try to get one appointment for every 100 calls. We make 200 to 300 calls a day per rep.
Right.
And she's been nailing down 5 and 8 appointments a day.
Somebody out there's having a hard time.
That script.
So she's making how many calls a day?
She's making between 200 and 300 calls a day.
Whoa. And our relationship is weird in that we do. If someone were to buy an Apple computer today, and or let's say you bought a personal computer, a PC, the computer is made by, let's say, Dell, but then the software in the computer would be Microsoft, let's say, or Adobe or whatever that is. So I basically make the systems. And you're like the computer and I'm like the software. It's kind of how I would describe our relationship. Yeah. Tim, I want to ask you this. You and I reconnected. I think it was in the year 2000 and what was it? Maybe 2010? Is that right? 2011 maybe? Or no, maybe further down the road. Maybe 2013?
2012.
Okay, so 2012. And at that time I was 5 years removed from the DJ business. And you were how many years removed from tax and accounting software?
It was about 10, 11 years.
We met, how did we re-meet? What was the first interaction? There was some interaction where you and I first connected. I just remember that somehow you and I went to Hideaway Pizza. But do you remember when we first reconnected?
Yeah. Well, we had that speaking thing that...
there it was. So it was Victory Christian Center. I was speaking there.
My name is Robert Redmond. I actually first met Clay almost 3 years ago to the day. I don't know if he remembers it or not, but I wasn't working with him at the time. I asked to see him and just ask him some questions to help, direct my life, to get some mentorship. But I've been working with Clay for now just over a year. The role I play here is a business coach, business consultant. I work with different businesses implementing best practice processes and systems that I have learned here by working with Clay. And the experience working here has, to put it real plainly, has been just life-changing. I have not only learned new things and have gained new knowledge, but I have gained a whole new mindset that I believe wherever I end up will serve me well throughout the rest of my life. Since working with Clay, I have learned so much. I mean, I would like to say almost everything about business in terms of the different categories. I haven't learned it all. But I've learned all about marketing. I've learned about advertising. I've learned about branding. I've learned how to create a sales process for organizations in any industry. I've learned how to sell. I've learned how to create repeatable systems and processes and hold people accountable. How to hire people. It's almost like every aspect of a business you can learn. I have learned a lot in those different categories. And then, again, the mindset that I've gained here has been huge. Working here, you can't be a mediocre person. You are a call to a higher standard of excellence, and then as you're called to that standard here, you begin to see those outcomes in every area of your life. That standard of excellence that you want to implement, no matter what you're involved in. I would like to describe the other people that work with Clay are people that are going somewhere with their life. Marshall in the group interview talks about how the best fits for this organization are the people that are goal-oriented. So they're on their own trajectory, and we're on our own trajectory. And the best fits are those people where there can be a mutually beneficial relationship, that as we pursue our goals and we help the business pursue those goals, the business helps us pursue our goals as well. And so I'd say people that are driven, people that want to make something of their lives, people that are goal-oriented, they're focused, and they're committed to overcoming any adversity that may come their way. Clay's passion for helping business owners grow their businesses it's unique in that I don't know if there's anyone else that can be as passionate. Whenever a business starts working with Clay, it's almost as like Clay is running that business in the sense that he has something at stake. He's just serving them. They're one of his clients, but it's as if he is actively involved in the business. Whenever they have a win, he's posting it all over his social media. He's shouting it across the room here at Thrive. He's sending people encouraging messages. He can kind of be that life coach and business coach in terms of being that a motivator and that champion for people's businesses. It's again unique because there's no one else I've seen get so excited about and passionate about other people's businesses. The kind of people that wouldn't like working with Clay are people that are satisfied with mediocrity. People that want to get through life by just doing enough, by just getting by. People who are not looking to develop themselves, people who are not coachable, people who think that they know it all and they're unwilling to change. I would say those are the type of people. In short, anyone that's content with mediocrity would not like working with Clay. So if you're meeting Clay for the first time, the advice I'd give you is definitely come ready to take tons of notes. Every time Clay speaks, he it gives you a wealth of knowledge that you don't want to miss. I remember the first time that I met Clay, I literally carried a notebook with me all around. I was looking at this notebook the other day, actually. I carried a notebook with me all around, and I just took tons of notes. I filled the entire notebook in about 3 or 4 months, just from being around Clay, following him, and learning from him. And then I would say, come coachable. Be open to learning something new. Be open to challenging yourself. Be open to learning and adjusting parts about you that need to be adjusted.